It's the Checkers Library TV Halloween special.
Hello and welcome to Checkers Library TV, the Halloween special. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh boy, this one might get a little bit spooky today because we're talking all about Halloween, and I am so excited to be here with my robot pal, Snoozer.
Hello, I am Snoozer.
Oh boy, this is going to be a great day. I am excited because I love Halloween. I get excited for the Halloween season every single year because of so many things. You got the leaves falling, the air gets a little bit cooler, it gets a little spooky out, and you can celebrate it all year long because Halloween doesn't come until October 31st. So the whole month of October, we get to celebrate Halloween, and that is really great. And there's different ways to celebrate. You can start by doing a lot of things, and in fact, we're going to talk about some of those things today, Snoozer. But before I do that, I want to ask you, what is your favorite way to celebrate Halloween?
My favorite part of Halloween is the decorations. But I also like reading spooky stories, going apple picking, watching scary movies, listening to Halloween songs, pumpkins.
Wait a minute, Snoozer. Pause right there. You listed some really good ones. Now, the greatest thing you listed was reading spooky Halloween stories. That's one of the best things you can do for the Halloween season. And that can start right at the library. You can check out books about Halloween. Maybe you have a favorite book that you read every single year. I have some. I'm going to talk about them a little bit later in our show. But there might be a book you've never heard of before, or you may have seen the cover, but you haven't read it before, or somebody told you they really love a certain book and you haven't had a chance to check it out. So go to the library and start exploring new things. There are so many things to cover. There's fiction stories. Those are made-up stories about different characters. There could be a real-life story. Sometimes there's spooky stories. They're just fun stories that are based in the Halloween season that are based on true, real events that actually happened. And then there could be books you could check out, like how to carve a pumpkin or something, how to bake a certain Halloween treat. Anything like that. There are all sorts of possibilities. So make sure you check out a book about Halloween before we get to the actual day Halloween on October 31st. And another one Snoozer brought up were decorations. Do you have a favorite Halloween decoration or a whole bunch of decorations? I love when the decorations come out every year and we get to set them up in different places. You've got the pumpkins, you've got cats, witches, you've got different things you can hang outside. I also have a scarecrow that I put out in my front porch every year. It's a scarecrow that I bring out and we put out for the whole month of October. That's something I really like doing. Just gets you excited, as I mentioned, all the way up to Halloween. You got that whole month of October, and some decorations you can keep out a little bit longer if you've got like different fall decorations, because fall goes all the way up until December. So we have that going a little bit longer, but Halloween decorations can be really just a fun way to get into the Halloween spirit. Now, another thing we want to talk about are some spooky things that have happened here on Checkers Library TV. Snoozer, do you remember anything spooky we've talked about? How about this? Do you remember that spooky story you told us about with aliens?
Oh yeah!
Snoozer, have you ever seen a UFO before?
Yes, I have. It was a dark and stormy night. Actually, it was daytime. I heard a strange noise. So I leapt out of my bed and I ran to the window, and then I saw it.
Well, Snoozer, what was it?
It was a cute little bird. Tweet, tweet!
A bird? Snoozer, no, that's not a UFO, that's just a bird.
Oh, well, it was flying.
Now, there's a couple other things we want to talk about before we get into our Halloween special. A couple things I do want to mention. Now, we talked about some Halloween traditions, decorations. There's, of course, pumpkins. If you have a chance to go to a pumpkin farm, pick out a pumpkin. You can carve your own jack-o'-lantern. That is another great Halloween thing to do. So if you get a chance to go to a pumpkin farm, definitely do that. But here's another thing a lot of people like about Halloween that we don't know if we can do this year, but that is trick-or-treating. Some of you guys have gone trick-or-treating before. Some of you may have never gone trick-or-treating, but even if you're not trick-or-treating, there are just so many things to do for the Halloween season. That's just one small part of Halloween. And part of trick-or-treating and things everyone likes doing is dressing up in a costume. So who has a really cool Halloween costume? Snoozer, I don't know if you brought a Halloween costume. Do you have one?
I'm a scary ghost for Halloween. Watch this. Ooh!
Ooh, that's spooky, Snoozer. Snoozer is a ghost for Halloween. Are you going to be something scary for Halloween? Are you going to be something funny, something cool, like a superhero? What are you going to be for Halloween? Have you even decided yet? Sometimes people don't decide until the last minute, so you have some time to think about what you're going to be for Halloween. We have a great show coming for you guys today. So many things to get to. Dr. Dan is going to be talking about some Halloween healthy snacks that you can be eating. Some things you may have never heard of before, so that's going to be something really interesting. Mrs. Hamilton has a very special Halloween-themed book she's going to be reading on Storytime Theater, and I can't wait for that. Snoozer's got a spooky Halloween joke. I'm waiting for that. That might be scary or funny. Who knows what it's going to be? We're also talking about a new toy on Toys in Time, something that I'm going to look forward to a lot. It's going to fit into the Halloween theme. And I'm going to have some books to talk about. I'm really excited for that because I have a whole giant collection of Halloween books that I can't wait to show you guys. That's going to be coming on Checkers Loves Books. And there's a whole bunch of more surprises, so sit back, relax, and enjoy this spooky Halloween special right here on Checkers Library TV.
Did you know? Pumpkin is a fruit, not a vegetable. Almost all parts of pumpkin are edible. The name pumpkin originates from a Greek word, pipon. Pumpkins are one of the most popular crops in the United States. The library has tons of books about pumpkins. Visit the library to learn more.
Girls, the story I'm going to be reading you today is called Halloween Day. The author is Anne Rockwell, and the illustrator is Lizzie Rockwell. Today is going to be a very exciting day. I'm going to wear my Halloween costume to school. My friends will wear their costumes too. Wow, look at us! Some of us look scary, and some of us look beautiful, but all of us look great. I wonder where Mrs. Madoff is. I want her to see my costume. Maybe Mr. Cisco will be our teacher all by himself today. I wish Mrs. Madoff could hear me say, meow, while I swish my long black tail. The fierce pirate with the patch over his eye and the red scar painted on his cheek is really Nicholas. Charlie looks just like the real firefighters who work in the firehouse on Main Street. The witch wearing a tall black hat is Kate. She told me that was what she was going to be. Sarah showed us how cowpokes out west twirl their lariats and sing, Yippee-i-o-ki-yay! Then Mr. Cisco said it was time for our Halloween parade. A beautiful fairy godmother appeared in the hall. Who could she be? I bet the big orange pumpkin is really Pablo. Yes, I'm sure it is. Those look like Pablo's new sneakers. If the big orange pumpkin is really Pablo, then the boy in the gross green monster mask must be Sam. Yes, the pumpkin and the monster are walking together, just like Sam and Pablo always do. Evelyn is pretending she's a clown. She can turn somersaults, just like the clowns in the circus did. She did one right in front of the library, and everyone clapped. Mr. Cisco thought Evan was a robot, but I knew right away that he was an astronaut. Jessica is dressed up like Comic Queen on TV. I think that program is scary, but Jessica isn't scared of anything. At snack time, we had a Halloween party. Our fairy godmother waved her magic wand over some orange tissue paper in a big box. She said, "Abracadabra, cuppity-boo, what do you think I have for you?" Suddenly, the box was full of cupcakes, one for each of us. Mr. Cisco gave us candy corn and apple cider, too. I ate my candy corn and drank my cider, but I saved my cupcake for last because I liked looking at its funny pumpkin face. Guess what? Mrs. Madoff was with us all the time. She was pretending to be our fairy godmother for Halloween. Well, that was a great story. Very exciting that Halloween will soon be here. I'll see you all next time on Storytime Theater.
If you would like to email Checkers and Snoozer, send your emails to checkers@checkerslibrarytv.com. We always look forward to hearing from you.
Hello and welcome to Toys in Time, where we talk about toys of the past and the present. And today's extra special because we're celebrating the Halloween season. So we have a special show for you guys today. Now, we're going to be talking about the Fisher-Price Imaginext DC Super Friends Bat Sub. And here it is. This is pretty cool. In all its glory, the Bat Sub. Now, Imaginext has made some Halloween-themed characters before, like the Frankenstein monster and, of course, a vampire. They've done some witches and things like that. If I had to think of a superhero that makes me think of Halloween, it would have to be Batman. And that's why we're talking about this brand new Bat Sub. Now, it comes with two figures. It's got Batman in his Bat Sub attire, and it has Kay Croc, who looks like he just escaped from prison. So there's so many different things you can take your imagination on when you're playing with this toy. Now, it's not a water toy, so it's not something you're going to take in the bathtub. That means the only time this should be underwater is within your imagination, and that opens up so many different possibilities. Now, this has some different cool play options, such as a power pad on the top that when you turn, can open and close and catch Kay Croc right inside one of the claws, just like this. And then Batman can even lock him up in the back, where we have, of course, a little holding cell. And then Kay Croc can be locked away until Batman takes him back to Arkham Asylum. And speaking of Batman, there is even a little pod in the front where Batman can sit, and now he can be the captain of his own underwater Bat Sub. So many cool options here, so much detail in this. Got propellers on the back, as I mentioned, the claws, the holding cell, the little pod in the front where Batman sits, and the power pad. Lots of different options. This is really cool. Snoozer, what is your favorite thing about this Bat Sub?
Wow, that thing is awesome! I love those little pinchers! In that jail for Batman to lock up the bad guys.
I agree, Snoozer. Well, we could talk about this all day, but we don't want to just talk about this toy. We want to experience it. So, Snoozer, let's take a closer look.
We're back in the Batcave!
Yep, that's because Batman keeps the sub in the Batcave, and he takes it when he's going on underwater missions.
But how does a Bat Sub get into Gotham City Bay when we're in a cave?
Well, I think Batman uses underwater tunnels that take him through the water into large bodies of water. Kind of how a sewer works.
That is so cool! Batman on a secret mission, going underwater! Yeah!
I'm coming to you live from outside Arkham Asylum, where the very dangerous criminal known as K. Kroc has just escaped.
Huh.
Oh my gosh! What's Arkham's Asylum?
Arkham Asylum. That's where Batman's criminals get locked up. But where's Batman?
I don't know, but this looks like a job for Bat Snoozer.
Another successful burglary by the mighty Catman. And not a cop in sight. Batman, if you want this loot, you'll have to go through me. Hi-ya! Wah! Ha! Hi-ya! Huh! Surprise attack! Whoa! If you think you can just... Oh, I'm so pathetic.
How did this happen?
We have no idea. He just vanished.
Hello, Commissioner Gordon.
Hey, you're not Batman.
No, I am Bat Snoozer, the greatest superhero of all time. And this is my sidekick, Chuckles.
What?
I'm protecting your secret identity, Checkers.
I didn't know he had vacuums working for him now.
Oh, please, Commissioner. I captured the Joker one time with my snazzy trunk.
Alrighty then, come along.
Yay! My first case.
Here's what happened. K-Kroc was missing from his cell during roll call an hour ago.
Security footage shows Kroc leaving his cell. He didn't appear on any other cameras. He just vanished.
I could swear I heard Kroc laughing by the side of the building, but there is no sign of him anywhere.
He's got to be here somewhere.
Jim,
Oh, it's you.
I got the message.
Don't worry, Batman. Bat Snoozer is on the case.
Bat Snoozer?
Hello.
Jim, that's a vacuum.
So he's not with you?
Do you really think I would fight crime with a vacuum?
Aha! Guys, look at this! I figured it out! I think he's in the sewer.
The sewer?
He's right. The bolts have been recently removed.
Yes! K-Kroc is like a crocodile, and crocodiles love water. So I think he snuck down into the sewer.
That would explain why he wasn't on the security footage.
And why I heard Kroc laughing, I was hearing him laugh from the sewer.
There's no time to lose.
We can use your new bat sub.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah! The Batcave has all those secret tunnels that lead to the bay.
How do you...
It's complicated. We'll explain on the way.
If we're going to catch the Kroc, we're going to need the right gear.
Wowie wow wow!
Here's the plan. I'm going after Kroc. I need you here at the computer.
Okay!
Bat sub pressurized and ready to submerge.
Release.
I'm home free.
All right, Snoozer, let's get to work. So Batman had a tracking device on Kroc's neck chain. As long as he's still wearing the chain, he should show up on the radar.
Yes! Hey! I see Croc on the radar!
Okay, let's call Batman.
Batman? Come in, Batman!
Go ahead.
I found Croc! He's 500 feet east!
Roger that.
Wait a minute, Snoozer. It looks like the signal is coming from above the surface. That means Croc's using some kind of watercraft.
Uh-oh! Better warn Batman! What button was it? Was it this one, or this one?
Starting power reset sequence.
Ugh, not this again.
Power restored.
Oh! What do we do now? I can't reach Batman!
I have an idea.
Oh, Batman, if only you could breathe underwater.
He fell for it.
Poor Crocky.
Eject. Good work today, Snoozer. You may have a crime-fighting future after all.
Oh, absolutely! But first, I'm gonna go check out more toys!
That was tremendous getting to check out the Imaginext Bat Sub. Thank you so much for coming along with us, and we will be back with more toys to check out of the past and the present next time on Toys in Time.
Would you like the chance to have your very own keepsake of Checkers and Snoozer in your home? Now you can have your own Checkers and Snoozer books or your own Snoozer plush toy. Excellent for birthdays, holiday presents, special achievements, or just to have the fun of Checkers and Snoozer in your family's home. Order yours today at www.checkerstheinventor.com store.
Hey everyone, it's Dr. Dan. Welcome to our special edition Halloween episode. Now today, I thought it'd be a great idea to talk about some healthy treats we can eat throughout the Halloween season. Now when we think Halloween, of course the first things that come to mind are candy and cakes and apple cider and pies and all that great stuff. Now, of course, we're going to eat some of that on Halloween, and if we go to a Halloween party or things like that, and that's totally fine. It's okay to have a special treat every once in a while, like we talked about in the previous episodes. But throughout the Halloween season, it's important to make sure we still eat healthy. But that's the reason I came up with a few quick recipes that we can eat that are both healthy and lots of fun and delicious for our Halloween season. Okay everyone, so first up is our vegetable platter. We've got some carrots and a stalk of celery on here. This is about 1 to 2 servings of vegetables. A lot of great stuff here. We've got our vitamins, our minerals, especially vitamin A inside of those carrots. And it's in a nice shape of a pumpkin, so really fun for Halloween. Now if we want to dip this in something for a little bit more flavor, reach for this. This is a yogurt-based blue cheese instead of a traditional blue cheese or a ranch or something like that. This has only got 70 calories per serving, so it's a lot healthier, but you still got all that great flavor. So that's our vegetable platter. Okay, moving on. So let's say you want something a little bit sweet. Of course, around Halloween, we all have a little bit of a sweet tooth. That's why I've got my candy corn in a cup. Now, what is the bottom color of candy corn? That's right, it's yellow. So we've got some delicious pineapple, all kinds of fiber, and of course our vitamins and minerals in this. Lots of great stuff, but it's super delicious. What's our next color? You know it, it's orange. We've got our cantaloupe here. We'll put some cantaloupe on the top for our second layer. And here we go, all in there. So we got our yellow on the bottom, our orange in the middle. What goes on top? The answer is white. So we've got a little bit of a treat here. We've got some whipped cream right on top. So we have our yellow on the bottom, our orange in the middle, and our white on top in the shape of a candy corn. Absolutely delicious, especially during Halloween. Okay, everyone, and last but not least, let's say you want something sweet, but also a little bit spooky. I've got just the thing for you. These are my ghost banana ends. So all you have to do, very easy, everyone, is cut some banana ends using a knife. Make sure you have your mom or dad with you. Cut with a knife some banana ends and take some chocolate chips. You can also use Cheerios and push in right like this. We're gonna make a few eyes like that. Grab another one. We've got a second eye right there. And there for a mouth. So we have a nice looking ghost right here, a ghost banana end with a little bit of chocolate, a perfectly sweet treat, and like I said, a little bit spooky. Okay, everyone, so there you have it. We have our vegetable fruit platter right here. We've got our carrots and our celery. Make sure you pair it with a nice low-calorie dressing. We have our candy corn in a cup with our pineapple on the bottom, our cantaloupe in the middle, and our whipped cream on top. Delicious. And last but not least, our sweet but spooky banana ends with chocolate eyes and a nose. So everyone remember, try to eat healthy throughout the Halloween season. Eat your fruits, your vegetables, but it's okay if you're at a party or it's Halloween night to have some special treats. That's what Halloween's all about. Okay, everyone, I'm Dr. Dan, and happy Halloween.
And now it's time for...
The joke of the week. Why does the ghost go back to the library every day for books? Because he goes through them so quickly. Hey, that's not funny. It's spooky.
Hello and welcome to Checkers Loves Books. This is the part of the show where I recommend books that I think you should be reading, and today is a special day because we're talking all about Halloween books. Yes, I have a whole big wide collection of Halloween books that I check out every single year. Some books that I've had really since I was a little kid, and some books that I picked up over the years, but I love checking these books out, and it really just is something that you only want to do when you're in the month of October, and then you want to get into other books. You get Thanksgiving, and then we get to Christmas, and then there's some books that I like all year round. But let me just talk about some of my favorites here. So this one, probably one of my absolute favorites. This is called A Little Bit Scary, and it's a book that is just full of different characters, different monsters, some characters you may have heard of before, but some that the book invents, and they create their own new characters, and then it has a little bit of a description of each of them. So let me get to a couple here, and it's got the mummy and this little blobby pink monster here. So here's one about mixing spells, and it's got a witch here. And one of the things I love about this book is it's just got great artwork. It's very colorful. It's pretty cartoony. It's got so many things going on. So you can spend some time just kind of looking through it and finding your favorite things about everything. So I always like seeing on this page, there's like these little worms and little things, and the witch is creating for her concoction in her cauldron here, and they're trying to escape, and I always found that funny. And then there's like a little rhyme or a little song that accompanies the picture on this side of the page. So I liked reading through this when I got a little bit older and started to have a chance to actually experience the book by myself. But when I was younger, my mom and dad would read this book to me, or my brother and sister would have it with me, and we would just spend so much time looking at all the pictures. So I really appreciated that, and my favorite one was always, well, this was one of my favorites. This is The Ghost Train, and the cool thing about The Ghost Train is it has a lot of the characters that you saw throughout the book all in one train together on a ghost train. But I always like the one about the vampire with false teeth. He's also the character that's on the cover. Maybe that's why he was my favorite, but you've got him right here. He's got a funny little poem that goes with him, and it's just funny because he's a vampire, but he has false teeth. That means he's got fake teeth that he puts in his mouth, and they keep falling out. It was just a lot of fun, and I like the spooky vibe with this little drawing here. So this is a really cool book. It is called A Little Bit Scary. If your library has this, definitely check it out. You can spend a lot of time just looking through the pages, seeing which ones are your favorite, and learning a little bit about some of these characters as well. So you're going to enjoy that. Now let me talk about another book. The next book I want to talk about is called Big Pumpkin. And this book is worn out because I've read this book so many times over and over. This is one of those books that has a lot of characters in it, and it's all about one simple thing. It starts with a witch who has planted a pumpkin, and let me get to that page here, and it grows big, and that's why it's called Big Pumpkin. And the cool thing about this book and why I like it so much is it's got all sorts of different characters like mummy, it's got a vampire, it's got a bat in it, it's got a ghost. It's just, oh, this page is breaking apart here. It's got so much going on in it, and I really enjoy this book, and it's pretty funny too because they're all teaming up to try to get this big pumpkin out of the ground and make pumpkin pies with it and all the cool things you can do with pumpkins. And they all have to team up and work together, and it's also a book that teaches you a lesson about not judging people by how big or small they are. Some people are able to have special talents even if they're not the biggest person in the world, and you're going to learn a little bit when you read this book. And also, it's got all those characters in it, it's got great artwork, it's got a great Halloween vibe to it, and it also gets me in the mood for different pumpkin things like pumpkin pie. When I was younger, I used to take the seeds out of pumpkins and cook them, so that gets me in the mood for that. So many things you can do with pumpkins. So that is Big Pumpkin. Now we're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just a bit to talk about some more books, but right now we're going to head over to Mrs. Hamilton. She's got a special song about some scary dinosaurs. Let's check that out right now.
We are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. What do you think of that? We are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. We make the earth flat. We make the earth flat. We stop and eat our food when we're in the mood. We stop and eat our food on the ground. We stop and eat our food when we're in the mood. We stop and eat our food and then we march around. 'Cause we are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. What do you think of that? We are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. We make the earth flat. We make the earth flat. We stop and take our rest over in our nest. We stop and take a rest at the end of the day. We stop and take a rest over in our nest. We stop and take a rest and then you'll hear us say that we are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. What do you think of that? We are the dinosaurs marching, marching. We are the dinosaurs. We make the earth flat. We make the earth flat. And then we roar. 'Cause we are the dinosaurs. Dinosaurs.
The little old lady who was not afraid of anything. Are you scared of anything? Is there anything that scares you? Well, there's a woman in this book who wasn't afraid of anything until one night when she's walking home, some spooky things start happening to her. Now, it's not too long of a book. You can have your mom and dad read this story to you, but I don't want to give too much away. but it gets a little bit spooky as this woman is being followed, it seems, by a bunch of different clothes, and they all come together to make kind of a different scary monster. Not too scary though, it's just kind of a funny little book, and it's about a woman, and it also teaches you that it's okay to be scared sometimes, especially during the Halloween season. Being scared can be a good thing, and we sometimes have fun being scared. When we watch scary movies or we read scary stories, we like getting that energy of feeling frightened as long as it's not too scary. So this is a great book to check out, and as I mentioned with a lot of these books, I like the illustrations a lot. I like when there's a bunch of things going on sometimes and you can just spend some time looking through it. After your mom and dad read it to you, you can just look through it and appreciate all the great artwork in this book. So that's the third book. Now I'm going to do just a couple other books I want to speed through real quick. I had a book all about Halloween with Arthur in it. I liked Arthur when I was younger. I watched the TV show, but there was also a Halloween Arthur book that I want to talk about real quick. I loved that. There's other books like these Halloween Clifford books, if you can check these out. Your library might have a bunch of them. Now, the cool thing about Clifford, Arthur, or like Winnie the Pooh is they make different Halloween books and they make a whole bunch of them. So if you can't find one book I talk about, you can find maybe another one. I like those books a lot, but this was a book that I remember reading a lot when I was younger, when I went to my grandma's house, The Haunted House, and it's got Mickey in it, it's got Donald Duck, it's got Pluto, their dog, and this is a story about Mickey Mouse with his car breaking down, so they have to go up to a mysterious house to see if they have any guests and they can help them get home, but some spooky things start happening. There are some bad guys in the house. It seems like there might be ghosts, and there's some strange noises, and this is a mystery story, so you have to kind of find out what happens. I don't want to give it away for you. You're gonna have to find this out for yourself. You can find this book. It's a little bit older, but like I talked about before, your library might have a book with Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck in it about Halloween that's not quite the same as this book, but it could be its own story, and it's great to explore new things and new books during this season. So make sure you do that, and I also like this book a lot. This one's called Fright Night Flight. Fright Night Flight. Oh, that's pretty, kind of a tongue twister, but I like this book. It's kind of like Big Pumpkin. It reminds me a little bit in the artwork and the way it's drawn, and it's about a witch, but I like that book as well. So those are some books I definitely recommend you check out, but this can be a great exploration process. It can be an adventure. This whole month long, try to read and find as many Halloween books as you can. If you can find some of the books I talked about today, that's great. But if your library doesn't have any of those books, that's even better sometimes, because you can check out entirely new books that maybe I haven't even heard of before, and they might become Halloween favorites. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I will have more books to talk about next time on Checkers Loves Books.
Checkers Library TV is made possible by libraries across America. Support your local library today.
And don't forget to check out more books at the library about Halloween. Celebrate the Halloween season all month long. Check out books you've never heard of before, books you love going back to. Make sure you do that, and also see the movie selection. See if your libraries have different Halloween or spooky themed movies or TV shows or anything like that you can collect and take home with you and celebrate the season that way. Have a great Halloween. We hope you guys stay with us. We'll be back next week with a little special segment, more on Halloween, and we can't wait for that. Have a great Halloween, and thank you so much. We'll see you here next time. Hey, by the way, what happened to Snoozer? Ghost Snoozer.
Happy Halloween, everyone!
Snoozer. We'll see you next time here on Checkers Library TV.